11 a.m. to 7 p.m., the Deep South Paracomic-Con will bring chills, thrills and much more. Special appearances by the paranormal rocker Keith Age, Blaine Rohan psychic medium, Dr. Lee Triana Brown, Professor Matthew Brown, Lilia Bogoeva, Michael and Destiny Fox from Fox Paranormal, creator of American Demon comic Austin Light, producer Gwen Johns, Ben Bracken with built-in Ghostbusters, Ken Gerhardt from Monster Quest and Ancient Aliens, WCW Wrestling NWO Wrestling American Giant Buck Bresner, CCW Wrestling The Masked Assassin Russ Conway, James Stokes from Stranger Things, Voorhees Night of the Beast and many more, Ethereal Voice Paranormal Richard and Colleen Johnson, Jessica Lentz cosplay artist. Come see Letriana Brown's Haunted Object Lab. What do you feel from these objects?
Discharges, you guys run, I'll hold it back, I'll shoot at it, hold it back, don't scare it. But if this thing charges, I can defend myself, you got it. This was very late at night, everybody was asleep. And I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified.
Hey, you got to excuse me. It's the first sweet tea I've had in several days now.
Oh my goodness!
You caught me. But I would like to welcome, before I start complaining and bitching about my own problems,
Okay.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the show, Southern Fried Paranormal. I'm your host, Len Dorman. This is our very good producer, Gwen, over there.
Yeah.
So we've had, she's been busy. She has been appearing at several Paracons. Everybody wants to talk to her lovely face.
Thank you.
In person. And she's been busy traveling across the country. I have had a few medical issues, and we'll continue to have a few medical issues and have some severe dental work done next week. And I will not be broadcasting a live show to sometime after the 7th. I'm going to be on Sean's show. What's the name of Sean's show?
Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal.
Yeah. I will be on that show, I believe September 7th. Mm-hmm. It'll be after that show before I come back with a new live show. Now, if Gwen wants
I was gonna say I'm gonna replay some of his episodes. So if any of you guys have one that you really want to see, let me know so we can. And I want to tell a couple people, hey, already we got Christine. We got who else? We got Chris from Paranormal Rock. Hey, Chris! I got to meet him in person. I even have a picture. Yep. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. Yep. He said to tell you everybody, hey. And I'm not sure who is this.
Angels Are Life. I'm not familiar with that. Although it's Hello Land, they know me.
Yeah.
Now, I would like to say to the people watching on YouTube, and Angels Our Life is watching on YouTube, according to my list here. There's Thomas.
Yeah. Hey, Thomas.
He had a good time on the show Tuesday night.
He
It was
did.
all about
I hate
John
I missed it.
Dillinger, and he had a good time with it. But everybody on YouTube, I would like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to increase our number of viewers on YouTube. We do have a
Yes.
very good video and audio on YouTube. I think it's slightly superior to Facebook, although don't say that in public.
No, don't say that in public.
But
It's in trouble.
yes, I would like to, anybody who watches on YouTube, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, regardless of whose YouTube channel you're watching the show. And it's on about 2 or 3 different YouTube channels.
4, plus we have a lot of where it shares it out. I think it's 4. I'm looking at 4, and then 5 Facebooks, and then yours. So a lot.
Yes, because I'm on. I've got this on my YouTube. It's on my Facebook. It's on my the little white guy that's on the purple circle. I forget what that is. Twitch or something.
I don't know which one it is. I'll be real with you. I get them confused.
I'm also on my X, and of course Facebook and YouTube. So I'm going to increase that. That's one thing I would like to say, that I will be seen on several different venues besides Facebook and YouTube. Starting with my next show in September, I'm going to, if you share on YouTube, if you share any kind of video on YouTube, you know what I'm talking about. It's got a long list of things where you can share it to your account from YouTube.
Yep.
And what I'm going to do is probably as many of those as I can that it will take a longer video. I am going to join those groups, and starting in September, probably be sharing the show with about 8 to 10 other venues.
Well, see, we already have 40 plus shared also. So we're out there. We're out there. So
yeah, you're out there. You're out there with your stuff. I'm going to be out there with my stuff, and it's going to be amazing. I'm wishing Lee and Gwen all the luck in the world with their network. I'm trying to get viewers up there.
Everybody's helping, and you guys, we have new people coming. Probably September, maybe even October for some. We got new people coming. We got new shows coming. I'm going to try to revamp some of the ones we do have already, just to give us a little fresh start. I think we have to do that every once in a while. And, if anybody is out there is interested and you're serious about having a podcast, let us know and we'll talk about it and see how it works out. And that's how we do it.
And that's how you expand the network right there.
You go.
And
because we got some good people who watch.
I'll be glad to help anybody who wants to start with the network, with a podcast, that when I crank back up in September, I'll be glad to have them on the show, and we can talk about what they want to do with their show and the direction they're going in.
There you go. So why don't we get to our guest? He's being patient with us.
Yes, Bill is being real patient. He's a great guy. He is one of the best people with the most results I've ever met was ghost boxes. So let's bring him on out, Bill Hauser.
Well,
hey,
hello, guys. How you doing there, Len and Gwen?
Pretty good.
Doing great. Now you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
Bill, my history with you has always been fun. Something strange kind of happens. We always get results, and I'm looking forward to what you're going to do tonight.
Yeah, it'll be good. And I brought the direct link in for tonight, too. That's something that Jay Prather, it's one of the original ones. So it's, here we go. And it's got the plate that you touch. And then when you do that, you are become the antenna. So it's your connection to the radio as the antenna. And he made only 6 of those of the original ones, and then he revamped them. And then the ones that they have today do not have the connective plate like that. It's just a regular telescopic antenna that you touch if you want to. So it's not really a true direct link. But anyway, this one still works, and it's great. So I'm looking forward to using it tonight. I haven't used it in probably 3-4 years now, at least.
Can you explain a little bit what this device does and helps out with the ghost box?
Well, this particular ghost box that Jay created there, it's the direct link. So it's your connection to the radio. It's even better, I think, in some cases than just the other radios. But it's your contact field. What really it's supposed to be, that's what it's supposed to be all about, basically, is your connection to the radio to make it more easier. So by having that plate on the side, that just helps me to kind of tune in, shall we say. And yeah, it's a fun radio. And then I have the one here. I use this a lot too, so we'll be using this to start with, and then move on to the direct link for a while to give it a little shot and see how it works on this show. I haven't used it for a while, so it's kind of cool. I had to get the dust off and everything. So, but anyway, it's there, and it's operational, so that's the main thing.
All right. Gwen, you got any questions?
I don't. I'm just curious as to what we're going to get.
All right, Bill, but please continue how you want to do it. More explanation, or just dip right into turning it on?
Well, let's just turn this. Well, we're going to use this one to start with. So. Okay, who wants to talk to me? You have a message? How are you tonight? Good, that's good. I'm on a radio show, so I encourage you guys to communicate with us. We're going to be doing some sessions tonight, so please come in and communicate. So let me ask the spirits around my area right now. Is there more than 10?
What?
So can I get a name, please? What's your name? So do you have a message for me or for anybody in the show, radio show that's here tonight? Maybe some of the listeners. You have a message? Who's this? Nice to meet you.
Pretty.
Who else is there?
Really?
Yes. How are you?
Get
Okay, well, I'm just gonna take a little break there. Okay, well, that's what a ghost box sounds like. I'm sure a lot of your listeners have heard of ghost boxes. There's many different types out there, so this is just one of many that I have anyway. And of course, we're going to use the direct link a little later. So yeah, that's really interesting how it works. So continuously scans and doesn't stop. If it does, it shouldn't. So anyway.
According to the chat room, Angels Our Life heard Greg And not sure how to pronounce RIBA, Raba or Reba.
Reba, maybe.
Reba, yeah, okay, that sounds
When
interesting.
I heard a couple things when you asked how many are in your area. I heard 2.
Yeah, I
And then
heard
there was
that
something
too.
else. Anybody else that sees anything, put your comments up, or here's anything.
Reba.
Yeah,
Reba, she cleared it up.
Reba.
Reba.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Either way is
Reba.
good. I heard a
That's
couple other
interesting.
things that I couldn't quite catch everything what they were saying. So
Yeah.
you know how it's easier if it's right in the room with you. Or it is for me.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's scanning pretty fast, so
Mhm.
that's what I always mention to people. If they're using the ghost box, they should always do some kind of recording or video of some kind to do your recording of your sessions. It's very important because during the time of the actual ghost box sessions, sometimes it's hard to catch everything or whatever. It's just things are moving very fast, so your mind just it has a little time to click in to hear it.
That's
true.
why you like doing them online, like we're doing this one, where you automatically have cameras and automatically recorded, so you can go back and hear it later. Or I like to, if I'm not on the internet, I like to record it on a camera.
Yeah, camera.
And I always have a
digital
camera,
recorder.
if possible, and a digital recorder. Both.
Yeah, you can back it up. So you get 2 different correlations to your sessions and stuff like that. Yeah. It's very important. That's one thing I always say to people is you got to record your sessions, because then they might hear something really good and then, I didn't record it. So now
or you could go back and play it and hear something that you didn't hear before. That happens a lot of times. Yeah.
Yeah. But my point is, if I've had people say, I got something really good, but I forgot to record it. And I'm going, okay, but it's great that you mentioned that to me. So, but I always emphasize that you got to record it. So you can go back and listen to it, understand what you might be hearing and stuff like that.
Right.
It's all about teaching the new people the right way.
Yeah, well, everybody kind of creates their own style of ghost box sessions from what I've gathered through the years. So, and I have my style as well in that. So, but the thing is record. That is probably the most important when you're doing ghost box sessions.
Right. I've also found that when you've been in it 20 years, like I have, been studying the paranormal a little much longer than that, but officially in the paranormal, using equipment for over 20 years now.
Yeah.
That I tend to bring personal spirits into other people's ghost box sessions.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they're hearing names that don't mean anything to them.
That happens.
But it's pertinent to me. I was in New Orleans, and we were in the Andrew Jackson Hotel of all places. And this was just in March, or excuse me, not March, April, this past April. And they said several people are telling me a name called Toby was coming through. And Toby is not associated with a hotel, doesn't mean anything to the hotel at all, didn't mean anything to anybody hearing it. And but when they told me, you said Toby? Yeah. Oh, that's a friend of mine that died about 2008.
Yeah.
That apparently had followed me that time to New Orleans, because I don't think he'd ever been. So he probably said, Len's going to New Orleans, and let's follow him to see what he's doing.
Yeah. Well, even just going to a investigation, lots of people who are in the paranormal, sometimes they bring stuff along with them, not intentionally, of course, but it does happen. And things like the ghost box can pick up on it, or say your digital recorder for EVP, electronic voice phenomena. So you're going to get these, and you're going to recognize their voices a lot of times too, and other people would not. So it's an interesting correlation that things happen that way.
Okay, Chris O'Toole says hi. Hello, Chris.
Hello.
Well, you want to try another session, or you want
Sure.
to talk about it? Or, all right.
Let's do another one.
Did you hear them? They said Chris.
Rack.
Okay, who would like to chat with us? Do you have a message for any of us here? We're in a radio show. Do you have a message for Gwen or Len or myself? And who am I talking with? Okay, nice to meet you people. Right. Yeah, nice to meet you. Where are you from? Are you from around my area? Are you from down in the United States of America? The USA?
Bible? Are you referring to Bible Belt?
Bible Belt, maybe?
Because Gwen and I are both in the Bible Belt.
Mhm.
Are you from the Bible Belt, maybe, of the United States?
No.
No? Okay. Okay.
Hey,
Where are you
John,
from?
were you with me this weekend
Right.
past?
Cars. Part of it. Like bullet.
You have something interesting to tell us, maybe.
But
You said the name Ed. Ed who? Is our last name to go with Ed?
Ed,
it's very.
what's the last name?
I guess
I heard Terry or Perry.
talk. That's it. That's it. What was?
Who's this?
No.
I heard John.
Blow.
I have a question for you, spirits. Can you give me the name of the big man who passed away today?
Here.
Who died today that was very famous? Do you know? Who? Do you know? Do you know?
Ask me.
Someone said to ask what?
Orca.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say he worked out a bit.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, he did. Maybe that's a clue for you.
Oh. I. Stock. This is. It's.
You have something in particular you need to tell us. Actually, this week we've had a few very famous people pass away.
Okay. Again. Fair. Thank.
Okay, I'm going to take a little break there. Okay, so yeah, it was very interesting. Some of the stuff coming through.
Yes, we actually before I asked the question of the name, the big man who died, but just before that,
Mm-hmm.
Gwen pointed out, I think it was Gwen that said Terry.
I
You're
heard of
Yeah, I
Terry?
Terry.
think I thought I heard Terry too, and that would have been who passed away
That's his
today.
name.
Terry
Yeah,
Bellina.
yep, that's his real name. So
Hulk Hogan.
everybody knows him as Hulk
Yeah.
Hogan. Yes. He had a heart attack, I believe. So
Yes.
he hadn't been very well lately. I remember seeing some stuff on Facebook and that being posted about him.
What he got involved in something he probably shouldn't have. He got involved in politics, and he had some of his fans turn against him, as always happens when you talk politics. That's why I don't talk about it. Because if
Yeah.
you own a business and you get into politics, you're going to lose. The way the country's split 50-50, you're going to lose half your listeners, half your customers, half your friends. If you do that, so that's why. No. I'll say politics exists. It does, but I'm not
Yeah.
going to say which side of the fence I'm on, and I'm not going to discuss the differences.
Yeah. Well, a lot of
But
times there's a time and place for the politics, and
Mm.
when you're doing a show where there's many different people with different thoughts on different things. So yeah, it doesn't always wash for some people, but
right, unless
yeah,
unless you have a purely political show, it's a
yeah,
lose-lose situation.
yeah.
And unfortunately, Terry had picked a side several years ago,
Hmm.
and he was turning against that side
Yeah.
because of the way things ended up being done. I'm not talking about the last few months.
Yeah.
And the pressure and
Hmm.
trying to defend his positions, changing positions,
Yeah.
could have driven him to a heart attack.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, yeah, I know that he had some controversy. He was involved in a lawsuit with Gawker and apparently won. So,
Yes,
but
he
he
got millions
also
of dollars. He
he was
lost his entire Ford wrestling fortune,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
got millions back in a lawsuit.
Yeah, and then he had that other scandal where he had said some racially toned type stuff that apparently was recorded at the time, or he said it at just the wrong time that
Yeah,
people could hear him, and yeah, that caused him quite a bit of grief. I remember hearing that in the news. So
yeah. A lot of his friends turned against him because of that. When you start uh,
yeah,
talking about
yeah,
racism, and
yeah, yeah,
you're going to lose friends that way too.
it's going to come back to haunt you, no question about it. And yeah, it's unfortunate that those kind of incidences happen there. Yeah, I mean, I could remember him from the 1980s. He was a very well-known celebrity, shall we say, status in what he
Mm-hmm.
did. So
What made him was the fact that he appeared in the Rocky 2 movie.
yeah,
That's
hmm
what started him. He didn't even have a name. The Hulk Hogan had not been invented at that time.
yeah,
And he went after that movie. They said, "Why don't we come into wrestling and make something of this?" So he went to some wrestling schools where they show you how to wrestle. And by the way, I have a history of in pro wrestling. I
hmm
have 3 people I went to high school with became pro wrestlers.
hmm
Uh, some of them popular only in Georgia. One of them in particular was popular in Georgia and was very big in Florida. In fact, he was kind of a Ric Flair type character
oh
before
yeah,
Ric Flair, and helped him
yeah.
develop Ric Flair. And I'm talking about Eddie Mansfield. He and I
Okay,
went
yeah, yeah, yeah. Those are well-known names in the field of wrestling. Yeah, I
right.
mean, the
Eddie and I
Vancouver
went
area
to,
too. had its
Mm.
fair share of names out there in wrestling. Out here, we had a lot of older names like Don Leal Jonathan, who lived out here, and Gene Kiniski. I knew his son quite well. I was a friend of his son there, and he got involved in wrestling for a little while. Both of them, actually, his older brother as well. So I knew those people and that. So, and then John Tenta, he was the same age as me. He was a local guy living out here, and he was a sumo. He started doing sumo wrestling, and then he got involved in pro wrestling. So, yeah, I knew him as well, and yeah, he was a massive, big guy. So,
A
yeah,
lot of those guys were massive. As they
yeah,
brought up in Rocky 2, you know, this
yeah.
guy's as big as a dinosaur. You ever fought a dinosaur?
Mhm.
And that was one of the famous quotes from that
Yeah,
movie. Because being pro wrestling, you are rather massive.
yeah. You have to be
Uh,
pretty big, unless you're a cruiserweight or whatever, or a lightweight. But
right. To be
yeah,
in their heavyweight division, which is really all that gets any kind of traction as far as fans go,
yeah, yeah,
you have to be over 200 pounds.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly.
And fortunately, I kind of fit the bill, although I'm way too old to do anything like that. At 5'8.5" and 265.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got to watching wrestling as a kid and used to watch it with Jimmy Carter's mother, Lillian
oh,
Carter.
okay. Yeah,
Her
that's
her and I sat side by side in the
Mhm.
reserve seats, ringside.
Yeah, yeah. I
I had a lot of fun.
mean, wrestling from back many years ago, I mean, it's gone through a lot of change and that and that. So, yeah, guys like Gene Kiniski, I mean, he was more of a very physical type man of his stature in his day. And yeah, Canada's greatest athlete, he used to call himself. So, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, he stands out. Don Leal Jonathan. I mean, all these names. Eric Froelich. The names just go on and on and on. Dean Ho. He lived out here too. Dean Noguchi, and people of that nature. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Of course, you also had Ozzy Osbourne pass away.
Yes, yes. We
Uh,
actually had a few
Thomas
celebrities. Hmm.
Thomas thought it was kind of freaky when we were talking about it Tuesday night that Ozzy Osbourne ended up passing away on the same date that John Dillinger was killed on.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
Oh,
that
it
was
was, wasn't
that.
it?
Yes, it was. That's why we were discussing it Tuesday night during the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
And of course,
Well,
I was a
kinda.
DJ for years and in rock and roll for
Mhm.
years.
Hmm.
And there's
That's true.
there are they're trying to get his son to various paracons. He is hard to get in a paracon. He doesn't go to too many of them, and probably none right now. Of course, they're a grieving family. They have an icon to bury as a father, a man who's a national treasure in at least two countries and probably many more. In Ozzy Osbourne, that was a tremendous loss.
Yeah.
MTV till 3 o'clock this morning they only had about a dozen Ozzy videos,
Hmm.
but that's all they played their commercial breaks in Ozzy videos. No
Oh, yeah.
VJ,
Yeah.
no talking about MTV,
Yeah.
no advertising. We're paying Ozzy. No, they just sat there and played Ozzy and run commercials, and that's
Yeah.
all they did
Yeah. As a memorial. Yeah.
as a memorial.
Yeah, that reminds me of when I remember I was only probably 15 or 16 years old when Elvis Presley died back in 1977 in that summer. And I remember all the radio stations in the Vancouver area were playing his music for that whole day and even into the next day as well. And lots of references made on the radios and stuff. And then, of course, the local TV and that. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was back in the day. That was big news, of course, for
yes, it
him.
was.
He passed away and all that. So
Gwen, did you have something you wanted to say or ask?
Not really yet. I was
Okay.
just honestly trying to play it back on my phone to see if I heard anything,
Uh huh.
the footage. I was trying to play
Oh,
back
okay.
along to see if I heard you.
Okay.
I was trying to play
Oh,
back along to see if I heard you.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I
I
was
got you.
messing with. I apologize, guys. I should have
That's
said
not
something,
a
but I didn't.
that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I did hear John, and I met a spirit named John last weekend. That's why I said, "Were you with me?" Because you never know,
Yeah.
I did meet one, but I heard a couple things, and then some people said, let's see, Angels Are Life says Johnny and Bible. Chris heard Henchman, Nigel, Ed, Neville, Tope. I did hear Tope, but I thought it was maybe a part of a name like Topher, like Angels. She put that too.
Yeah.
I did hear that myself. I did not hear Alex or Emmett, but I did hear. I thought he was saying Lynn, but he could have been saying Gwen or Lynn. I don't know which one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I mean, we're getting some interaction. So.
Could have been somebody attached to you.
But,
I mean, not an attachment, but related to you, or could have been somebody with me.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
Like I said, when I heard John, I was like, okay.
Yeah, you had a possible strong connection there, and the opportunity for that voice to come through again.
Yeah, Chris said Ed could be with him because he had said something in the chat room. I was asking for a last name because I went to school again. I went to school with of course, we all go to school with a lot of people. But being a baby boomer, being the large generation that we were, my kindergarten, we had 2 kindergarten teachers in our elementary school, and it was 35 to 37 students in each one. So when I was in kindergarten with over 70 other kindergartners.
Yeah, that's a big.
So it's quite a few people. It was divided between 2 classes, fortunately, but still 35 to 37 students is more than kindergarten teachers would walk out if they discovered right now they had to have 35, 37 students. And the thing was true every year I went to elementary school before they started cutting the classes down.
Yeah.
I was at least 33. That was the smallest classes I was ever in elementary school. So I went to school with a lot of people. Some of them got to be people. Some of them didn't.
Yeah.
And like I said, I happened to go to elementary. I went to the same school Eddie did for at least 6 years, and we came up fighting each other. We went round and around several times in elementary school, which was interesting, but considering he was the NWA champion, Florida Championship Wrestling back in the 70s when Turner Broadcasting was doing it. They called it the Mothership. They came on Saturday night for about 3 hours. And he was the champion back then.
Yeah.
Hello. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name correctly.
Sal.
Okay. Sal Nacosta?
Ooh, I'm not trying that last name.
Okay, we'll just say Sal.
Just say Sal. Just say Sal. I don't want to mess it up.
I don't want to make you mad by butchering your name, and I would guarantee butcher it.
So what you gonna do next, Bill? You're gonna do your
We'll do another one with this, and then we'll go to the direct link there. And
all right.
Okay, who wants to talk to us? You have a message for anybody connected to the radio show tonight? The listeners?
Did that one just say Hulk?
I heard Chris.
What else would you like to tell us? Where are you right now? Are you right here where I am? Or are you down in Arkansas? Can you see me, maybe? Are you able to see Len? So what kind of a message do you have for us?
No.
No, why? Who else is there?
Coming up.
Yeah? What's your name? If you can, give us the full name. That'd be greatly appreciated.
There.
Who's this? Nice to meet you.
Trump. Wait.
Who else is there?
Social. Up. Which is that.
Do you have something that you would like to tell the listeners to the radio show tonight? Someone out there that you may know.
Sure. Dad.
Who's this? Are you guys starting to talk amongst yourselves?
Left. Thank you.
What would you like to say?
If the one that said dad, are you the dad or are you somebody's dad? Or are you want to speak to your dad?
Someone asked about dad. Are you the dad or are you calling your dad?
Do you mind if I ask something real quick? Is that okay?
What was that there, Gwen?
Do you want me? Can I ask something? Is that okay?
Sure. Yep, no
Okay.
problem.
Do you guys know? Okay. Do you guys know any of us?
Pardon. Do you know any of us here right now? We're on a radio show. You know any of us?
Do you guys know Bill?
Gwen, I think all of a sudden like your name come through.
And then somebody says you ask.
You know Gwen?
Have I met you? Yeah.
You know Gwen, eh?
Hello.
And what's your name?
To the spirit who said Chris, Is your name Chris? Or are you looking for Chris?
The person mentioning Chris, are you Chris or are you looking for somebody named Chris? Gillis. Hmm. Okay, we're going to take a little break there. Okay, I heard Gillis, I think. Very strong at my end.
Angels Are Life said Ellis and Bill. She said energy felt like he knows Bill. Chris could they didn't specify if their name was Chris or whether they're looking for Chris.
Yeah.
Seeing what time of night is, there could be a friend of mine named Chris, very much among the living, who could be running a ghost box session down in New Orleans right about now.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'll tell you where it's at. He is running. He could be, if they've got a tour tonight, he could be running a ghost box session, a rather long one, at the Voodoo store behind it in an old slave quarters.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that there could be some relation there. I have done in the same location Echo Box and Ghost Box sessions in the same location. So a link between if they're doing one now down there, I know the spirit down there, Michael. He is a predominant spirit in that building. So there could be a link there. Somebody could have said Chris, and we just heard him on the wrong Ghost Box.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I mean, there's many things that could happen there too, as well as that's happened before, that phenomena with ghost boxes. You know somebody, but the time difference, they could be in bed sleeping and you're on your radio on the West Coast and they're on the East Coast later at night. And I've heard stories of those kind of situations and that as well as myself. My voice came over, very well known ghost box researcher, so it happens. Yeah, he let me know too about it, and he actually recorded it. So these phenomena happen. You just don't know what exactly is happening at that time. It's almost like kind of like astral travel, but it's with your voice on the ghost box.
Well, I call it kind of opening a portal. People don't like to say that when you open a ghost box, but technically you're reaching from the side of the living to the side of the deceased.
Yeah.
And anytime you do that, you've opened a portal between two planes of living, or two planes of existence.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. Yeah.
And you're talking, you're using your voice going through this portal, not going through it physically yourself, which is something I don't advise, having done that. But don't do it if it's a rookie, please. Unless you've been in the paranormal for years, like I have, don't go through a portal. You see one, you walk away from it. You don't go through it. Please don't do that. I lost about 15, 20 minutes of my life like that. So don't do it if you're a rookie. But that's a long story. I'm not going to get into it. But you got to be careful.
Yeah, I've walked into a few cold spots that it hits you. Just you get something kind of like a vision on the back of the mind of your brain, shall we say, and you never forget it. So
it's the paranormal is we we don't know all the facts of what we're dealing with. We don't know
No,
exactly who we're
no,
talking to or how. We know it exists. We know they can interact,
yeah,
but we don't know all the facts. And then,
no,
unless you protect yourself,
yeah,
and you've been doing this for a long time, like Bill and I have,
yeah,
I would not advise doing it. Or be careful. Of course, the only way you're going to get experience with a ghost box and become good at picking out words is to do it. I would
yeah,
just advise,
yeah.
be careful. Maybe do it with a knowledgeable, experienced person.
Yeah,
Agree.
it's like I always say when you know, go on an investigation or even just doing your own ghost box sessions wherever you may be, is protection. That's the key thing, right? And protection, far as I'm concerned, it's very personal. It's very individualized to those people. So it could be a simple prayer, or it could be, you know, little crystals or whatever, or just the white light envisioned around your body. So, uh, yeah, it's very important to do that. I know I've actually had spirits attack, well, not attack, but they went after my energy, and they made me almost look like a ghost, shall we say. I was all oh, what do you call, white as a ghost, basically.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
for about 4 or 5 days after, at least, it felt like I almost had the flu. It was like my
Wow.
it took a little while for me to get over it, but that was my first time I had an attached spirit on me and everything, and then it went away eventually, and that. So, but yeah, that's when I found out about spirit attachments, and the lady that of that group at that time in Victoria, she mentioned that should be doing more protection than that. So said you have those connections, and then you need to do that. So I said, sure, okay, that's good advice. And you know, that's important with a lot of newbies out there now. And you know, they
Mm-hmm.
see things on TV and they think that's really cool and that. But you know, the thing is you're dealing with a lot of spirits. Okay, if you really believe in what you're doing, there's going to be a lot of spirits out there, and they've passed on. Some of them may have better intentions than others, or whatever. They may just want to communicate, but you know, if they want your energy, they're going to go after you. So if you're not protected, believe me,
Yeah,
they'll know. They'll know.
because some of them want the one thing they can't have that we have.
Hmm.
We're alive.
Yeah, yeah. And then, you know, I mean, there's some spirits out there. I mean, they want to go right into your body for that short little while. They want to be able to see again through your eyes and that. So that can happen. You know, I've
Huh?
known some mediums that got into where the spirits entered their body, and it looked
Mm-hmm.
pretty freaky, but you know, they were getting some pretty interesting communications. And I'll tell you, hair on the back of my neck stood up and
Mm-hmm.
all that.
There-
Yeah. And, you know, of
There's
course, they didn't know at the time they were in a trance, and it happens. So I've seen that quite a few times with these different mediums that had that ability with mediumship. You know, I mean, when it comes down to it, a ghost box is really, as far as I'm concerned, a mediumship tool.
yes.
It's like basically a telephone to the dead, that concept.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we basically speakerphone so we can all hear their voices.
Did you see Bill that Taylor was in the house?
Did you see the comment?
Taylor. Oh, I know Taylor. Yes,
Mhm.
she's related to me. Yeah, she's interested in the paranormal and that. So, yeah, she contacted me
Awesome.
not too long ago. She went on a little paranormal. I guess it was a little at a home or whatever, not far from my area. So, yeah, she was pretty fascinated with what's going on, and they did the ESTA method there, and I recognized that right away with some pictures she sent me and that. So, yeah, it was good, and yeah, I'm glad that she's tuned in tonight. So, hello, Taylor.
So Taylor, you've got a great mentor as your uncle, Bill Hauser. So you can tune into
Well, I'm
this
actually
network
her
and
great uncle. That's
great uncle.
yeah, it's my nephew's daughter. So, yeah, yeah, that's my great niece.
I keep forgetting you and I are old enough to have great whatevers. I've got
Yeah,
several
well, I'm
myself.
kind of on the edge of that baby boomer that you were talking about. So now I was born in 1963, so the year John F. Kennedy was assassinated. So
You're born the same year my wife was.
yeah, so we're in that same year of time, basically. Yeah, so
And of
yeah,
course,
it's just
I was born in '56.
yeah, yeah.
I'm a
So,
child of the space age. I got to see Sputnik. Well,
oh yeah,
I
yeah,
was a baby at Sputnik, but I got to see the whole space take off. We studied it, watched all the launches in
yeah,
school.
yeah.
I've always felt very close to
Mhm.
the space age, and I have met personally the Pete Conrad.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, people forget about Pete Conrad. It was the second 1969 lunar landing in
Yeah.
December, Apollo 12. He was
Mhm.
the commander and
Yeah.
actually the third person to walk on the moon.
Wow.
He and
Yeah,
I
that's
met
amazing.
back in the 80s, late 80s, and struck up quite a conversation because he was in charge of the space
Mhm.
station. And
Yeah.
he was at a public forum, and I asked him a question: were the Russians going to get involved?
Mm.
And he was negotiating with the Russians at the time. So if they would invest, at that time, Soviet Union was falling.
Yeah.
And due to the fact that they were falling, he finally got them into an idea that I actually come up with.
Mhm.
Was through I knew another engineer was going to work for NASA as for the space station, and I said, "Why don't you get?" They put up space stations before. They have one sitting on the ground. They can't finish it. Soviet Union's falling. They don't have the money.
Yeah.
Why don't they see if they can come up with what they were going to use for a complete space station and use as a core for the ISS?
Mhm.
And that is still in orbit today as the main central hub of the ISS. Was supposed to be their fourth space station.
Oh, yeah. That's
And
very impressive.
I come up with that idea in the late 80s and just passed it on to NASA.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. They haven't paid me for that yet.
Yeah.
Of course, waiting on
Maybe
a
we'll
check from
see.
NASA.
Yeah.
Keep
I
waiting.
remember. Yeah. I remember Expo '86, and the Russians were there, of course, and they had a lot of hardware that they brought to the fair, World's Fair, and yeah, it was all related to their space
Mm-hmm.
programs that they were doing and that. And yeah, I still remember that very clearly and talking to some of the people there and that. So yeah, it was very fascinating. Very
Yeah,
exciting times at that time.
later on, I knew again the head after Pete
Yeah.
had retired,
Hmm.
and I knew the person who took over. He was the brother of a former employer of mine. So of course I had some insight to that when he and I had an hour and a half, 2 hour conversation after a conference once, and we talked about the next space station. And they said that they didn't have a design for the next space station. Hey, shouldn't you think you better be hitting the boards with a design? And he agreed. And they've come up with several designs, and we now have blow up space stations that are going to go up to replace the ISS.
Yeah.
Where it's the easy way. You got the basic as a version of Kevlar that is just in a package,
Yeah.
and they can shoot it up. It's still got its weight, but doesn't have the size.
Yeah.
You don't have to have all the aluminum or titanium, whatever, for the walls. It's all the Kevlar fabric, and then they pressurize it with air, and they come up, and it turns almost as hard as a metal.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's how they're going to build the next space
Yeah.
station.
Well, I
But
remember, yeah, in Expo '86 there, the American pavilion there, they had the space station there on display, like a model of it, but it was hoist like up on near the ceiling on cables, and it was huge. It was massive, and a lot of detail to the model and everything, and it still stands out in my mind every time I see it. And then if I see when it goes over once in a while, when the space station goes over, it just has that certain illumination to it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it just reminds me of what I saw at the pavilion back in Expo '86 time.
wow.
Yeah, so
All right, why don't we get on with the next ghost box session because I don't know how long Gwen wants to go tonight. And
we can go to 2 hours if you want to, or you can cut it off before you let me know.
Okay.
Okay, well, this is the direct link I was talking about earlier, built by Jay Prather. So this was one of the original direct links. So I'm one of the few that have it. I think he did about 6 or 7 of them. So I managed to get one of them at the time. And let's turn it on. Now, when I touch it, that's when the reception there, that little plate right there. Or else you just hear it and you and you just adjust the sweep rate. Get it right in. I like to hold it like this, so use my palm directly on it. Okay, who would like to talk to me? You have something you'd like to tell me? Who's this? Can I get a name, please? What's your name? Are we happy tonight? Yeah. No way? Well, in a good way, I hope. Do you know any of our names that are on? We're on a radio show right now. Do you know anybody in here? Maybe some of the listeners right now listening in? Do you know who they are?
Now we have talked about wrestling and NASA tonight. Is anybody out there wanting to discuss pro wrestling or the Space Administration?
Did anyone ever know Hulk Hogan?
Joseph.
Are you Joseph, or are you trying to talk to Joseph?
So do you have a message? What would you like to tell us? Something important, maybe? Do you have a message for somebody out there? What would you like to tell? Yeah? You have something important? You must do. No, nice to meet you. Who's this?
I'm SThe.
Okay, thank you for communicating. Okay, that was very interesting. So,
I heard quite a few different names.
yeah, so did I. And yeah, I had to get the scanning just right because I was getting a little bit of the broadcast radio remnants of coming through, of course. So,
Mhm.
again, I mean, there's theories to that as well. I mean, one of the older theories with Ghostbox was that they take snippets of broadcast radio and remodulate to form speech. And I kind of like that concept. I know that's something that Steve Halty believed a lot in. And again, I remember he got a little concerned with me doing stuff in a Faraday cage concept and that. So he thought that was going to take away a little bit from the whole thing that Frank Sumption was doing. And of course, next month is going to be the anniversary of his death, of course. And I wouldn't be here now if it wasn't for Frank Sumption. Basically, he started this whole thing, the concept of using basically the automating the radio into a ghost box, shall we say. I mean, radio had been used for a long time, doing, spirit communication, shall we say, but it was sort of touch and go, and then he automated it, and then of course it was a little more fluent communications coming through that we could hear and understand, so, and intelligent responses and so on.
My theory has always been that we had basically spirit is an incorporate being. If you're religious, you can say it's your soul.
Hmm.
They're non-corporate. They exist on another plane. And the reason they're responding more in today's world, we have better equipment specifically designed for it. And you've got all kinds of waves coming in.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the internet waves. They're not all hardwired. My show goes out over the whole podcast or anything I do goes out over phone towers, and you got microwaves shooting all over the place. You got communications
well, we live in a
lasers,
sea
microwaves.
of electromagnetics, and I mean, it's all around us. Wi-Fi, you name it, cell towers, all this different energy, high voltage power lines. It just goes on and on and on.
So they've got means to travel, through all this, and there's a lot of stuff going on. So of course they ended up hearing us more. So when we open up something like you do with a ghost box or an echo box or something, when you open up and digging into the waves that's around,
I know people have used, and they still do today, is the tube valve radios from the late 50s and early 60s, before the transistor started to get traction. And I mean, that's a great way of doing it as well. And I mean, radio, like I said before, I've been using that for a long time for spirit communications and getting unusual responses a lot of times. And that, of course, there's been movies made about that kind of stuff as well. So.
And Angels Our Light's got a good point here. Higher consciousness work opens a huge amount up in the brain. You've got to have an open mind. You got to open your brain. And listen and try to respond, try to communicate, and like I said, kids, keep an open mind. You may notice I have a funny look on my face when I'm listening to your sessions. Because I'm concentrating on what's being said.
Yeah.
I'm concentrating so much, somebody could probably walk in the room and speak my name, and I wouldn't even respond.
Yeah.
Kind of almost. It's not quite a trance, but
Yeah.
I'm just concentrating.
Yeah. Yeah, I know some people, they like to close their eyes while they listen to a ghost box session. It just helps them to better connect to the radio, shall we say.
I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do that.
So,
And
yeah.
and if anybody's listening to this,
Mhm.
get you a nice set of headphones. Probably nicer than these. These I bought for $5 when the local Family Dollar went out of business.
Oh, okay.
They're gamers. They just turn on, you can see the light. But get a good set of headphones and turn the volume up. I got the volume wide open on this thing.
Yeah.
And that's the way you listen, so you can hear. Because sometimes the person you may want to speak to is not as loud as somebody you don't want to speak to, or some kind of leftover radio noise.
Yeah.
The background noise is what you really want to listen to.
Yeah, well, you
Yeah.
got your white noise and then the radio noise and then everything else. So, like I said before, not all ghost boxes are created equally, and some are hacked, the old hacked radios and that. So, yeah, I use the old hacks. That's how I first got started. So, the Radio Shack, Hack Shack. So, and then,
I like those. I still
yeah,
like those. Yeah.
yeah. Let's see. Eventually, I ended up with the PSB7. That wasn't too bad. That particular time model. But again, they have a what they call a white noise generator in there, and so listening to it for a while, it can get a little harsh on the listening.
I've had a lot of luck with the SB7. I've used that for several years.
Yeah. I mean, it does work. Yeah, no question about it.
Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't work. It does.
Yeah.
It does work. I've had some success with it in the past. It's not my favorite.
No, I wouldn't say so. And then I even got was it PSB 11 or whatever they called it, and with the two different channels, and that was just a little too much. Sounded like a freight train or something going by. It was pretty harsh.
I've known people who had both.
Hey, Bill, we have a question for you.
Okay.
What's your most favorite EDT?
Linda is asking.
So,
do you have a favorite one, Bill? In all the years you've been doing this?
Well, yeah, I actually had quite a few of them along the way. Some of them, one in particular, was involved with an investigation, and then I was able to get the actual name of somebody that was actually from that residence at one time that actually owned that property. So that was cool. He himself, generally, people recognized his voice and that because he was involved in the media and that. So at one time, he was involved in a local radio station as a radio announcer and that. So yeah, people knew what his voice sounded like and that. So, and then you can listen to old audio files of that, and we did and that. And sure enough, there was such a striking similarity that yeah, it was really cool when you get those kind of hits.
Len, which is one do you like to use? Which is the one you've had on?
I've used several.
No, I mean on the show. Which one did you use? Do you remember?
Oh, on Tuesday's show, I used the EchoVox, which is something similar that has syllable. Instead of using radio noise, it goes over syllables. It has a sound like that. It's a background, and the spirit can come. In theory, can come through there. Also, with the Ghost Box, I do have my favorite, and I do have it on right now. I'm not picking up a whole lot.
Which one do you have? I can't really see. Be honest.
Let's take a look there. Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's the name of it right there.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's what it looks like.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Very interesting.
Got the big antenna on the back. Here, you don't pick up a whole lot of radio noise because I'm about 35, 40 miles from the nearest radio station.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you
Especially with the antenna down, I'm not picking up a whole lot of radio noise.
More white noise. You got quite a good sized speaker on there too, I noticed. So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep. The way it's scanning too is very interesting. It's
also it does a little entertaining with it too. The whole thing lights up.
Oh yeah, yeah. You got your. Yeah. So if something happens, it lights up an indicator.
Does anybody want to talk to me over the ghost box tonight?
Oh, you getting something?
Did they say boo?
Names. Anybody listening tonight? Your name? Yeah, up my box tonight. Ghost box on Thursday night. Does anyone was here want to talk? We had quite a few people here.
Hey, Lynn. Linda didn't catch the name of it. She's wondering which box you have. Can you tell her the name? Can you see it? I can't see it good. What is the name of it again?
It's a try to read the name of it. Called a two-boom.
Okay.
It's a self-made. He buys these boxes and builds the radio hack inside a box he did.
Yeah.
Made for.
Oh, very interesting. And who was the builder of that box, Len?
I'm trying to remember his sitting here on a block. He used box sessions once or sometimes 2 times a week. That recently quit doing. I'm not sure what. I don't. I remember his name. He's last name Hernandez. I remember the first name. He worked.
Y'all gotta go see it.
Can you repeat, please? Serious engineer there.
Quality Ford deal.
That was commercial. No, we're not going to 4D tonight.
Sure.
Speed it up a little bit so we won't have any commercials do like that. I think a lot of spirits don't like to come in here when it's me in here. Sorry, you can't come sit by the fireplace. The wife is in the living room. Okay, let's go ahead and switch this one off. The other little on-off switch here in the back is cute to use. I got the speed controller here, and like I said, the on-off switch here, and of course, it does have the lights and a couple other things I can verify. It charges up on a phone charger,
Yeah.
so I can. It also got the battery backup.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the builders today are starting to do where they're using rechargeable battery units in them and that. So back in the day, we were buying so many batteries, and that's it. It was just amazing. I went through
Yes.
so many, buy big packs at Costco
Mhm.
and that. So, but yeah, I don't do that as much now. So yeah, most of the radios, the new ones I got, are rechargeable batteries. So that seems to be
Yeah.
the trend. So I guess
Yes.
that's all and parcel to being green friendly out there. So I guess that's a
Right.
good thing in the end result. So.
And you don't have to carry,
It's easier.
and you don't have to carry batteries, because I remember when I started 20 years ago, I could barely carry my backpack, and most of it was backup batteries.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. And
goodness.
then at the same time, you would get spirits attacking your equipment and the batteries going down and draining, and so you'd have to put new ones in. And then
Mhm.
sometimes you take them home, you try the same battery that got drained, and they're almost fully charged again. I had that happen a few
Mhm.
times, and yeah, so yeah, yeah,
I've had rechargeable batteries on cameras go completely dead,
yeah,
Yep.
and then when I bring them home, put them on the charger. They charge for 5 minutes. The green light comes on. You pull them off; they're absolutely fully charged. And if
yeah,
they were completely empty, it may have to charge for 5 or 6 hours.
yeah.
It's not going to charge up in 5 minutes.
No,
Mm-mm.
no. Well, I
And
mean, they're manipulating those, the energy of that devices, shall we say, and that. So, yeah, I mean, there's advantages of having rechargeable batteries now in
mhm,
the field and that. So, I look
It
at it this
really
way:
is.
it's just a bit more of a greener type thing, supposed
mhm.
to. I remember on one investigation there was a big pile of batteries we had at the end of the night. We
Yeah.
just didn't put our
It
batteries
is
in
now.
there, and then of course they go off
Mhm,
to get recycled or whatever. But yeah, I mean, times have changed on those things, and of course, when I first started doing ghost hunting, we were not using digital recorders; it was cassette. So I had my little portable cassette thing there, and then you take it home. It took quite a while to get the EVPs and stuff out of there. So yeah, I mean, it made it a lot more easier now with digital. That's for sure.
yes. Oh, one thing interesting, Bill, I forgot to tell you. Uh, During the EchoVox sessions, we were in the middle of one. Just three of us sitting here talking like three of us are right now. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, the EchoVox, which I had sitting right up here next to my microphone, like I just did with my Ghost Box, went silent. And when it loses disconnection with the device I had in the living room, picking up the spirits,
Yeah.
uh, it you start having volume out there.
Yeah.
And of course, it's screeching because you got a speaker right there beside the microphone. And of course, the screeching is horrible. Sounds like a few mad birds loose in a bathroom or something.
Yeah.
But that wasn't happening either.
Hmm.
The EchoVox went completely silent. It was no syllables, no word sounds, no nothing coming out of it.
Wow.
So I got up. I made a shock face in the camera. Of course, I was. What the hell is that? Walked out, and just as I was reaching my hand to touch the EchoVox end of it, it came back on. Started this little screeching feedback thing for a few seconds. The speaker that was still in here went through his little ding tone. That's when the Bluetooth kicks in, and it started back fine. But the program was running.
Yeah.
There was just no sound coming off, and that's impossible because nobody was in there cut the volume down.
Hmm.
and there's no way to cut that sound off without either closing the program or cutting the sound down, and neither was done.
Yeah.
But it changed when I went out there and made an appearance.
Yeah.
And I kind of said, who's messing with the sound here? And it came back on when I reached it. And when I got back, I wasn't even back in here yet, and it was back going. And that was weird.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, spirits in general, I mean, they can mess with your equipment of any kinds,
Mhm.
from detectors to whatever. There's so many different gadgets now that are being used. Some of them,
Mhm.
are very, that's the thing. In the paranormal, as far as I'm concerned, it's all experimental, really, because there's really no rhyme or reasoning to the equipment. I mean, sure, you can get some base readings and stuff like that and
Yeah.
compare them, and so on. But again, a lot of the paranormal is looked at as pseudoscience by the scientific community, shall we say. And again, that leaves us to our own demise of how we go about doing our investigations and that. And, I mean, there's some groups out there that really do a good job in presenting. They got data loggers, they get all the environmental stuff going on and all that to present to the client after for their investigations at night and so on. So, yeah, that's the neat thing about it. So again, like I say, it's very experimental when it comes to equipment. There's really, until you actually go and take it out there and see how it works, and you know, uh, you know, for me, I've seen so many different gadgets out there. Some of them are just,
Mhm.
they're a little flaky, far as I was concerned, and questionable, shall we say? So.
Uh, to answer Linda Judd's comment, uh, it was not the Echovox was not out there by itself in my living room. I did have it was on the anniversary of John Dillinger's death this past Tuesday. I
Mhm.
did have the movie Manhattan Melodrama playing in the living room,
Oh, okay.
and it was producing a little bit. I heard the volume really low, producing a little bit of background noise for the Echovox. It was picking up, of course, the people talking, whoever was talking on it, the verbiage produced was even louder than the movie volume. You could, if there was no sound coming out, you could hear
Yeah.
maybe a couple of words in the movie. That was it. It was just basically background noise. Is what I was using it for.
Hmm.
So it had that playing. Of course, that was not even going out. It wasn't picking that up. So something turned my speaker off, to turn the volume, the pickup completely off. And yes, they need were visible because I did not see anything out there. But it
Yeah.
reacted to me coming out there. It turned it back on. Oh, and answer, somebody asked you a question earlier. What's your favorite pickup? I believe we can throw that one out of the chat room, Gwen.
Yep. Doing it now.
Okay.
Didn't mean to do that. Sorry about that.
Anyway, my favorite was a few months ago. I was
Hmm.
down at the Bonnie and Clyde massacre site, and I had a female voice kept telling me to leave, get out. Over all the radio station background noise, leave, get out. We don't want you here. Over the Echovox, I got what I'm assuming is Clyde's voice saying, I did it because I didn't want to go back to jail. Back to prison's the word he used. Didn't want to go back to prison.
Yeah.
That came over there, and I heard what I'm assuming Bonnie was obviously a female voice saying, get out of here,
Yeah.
leave, go away. Bonnie was not being talkative at all, and all I got out of Clyde was I did not want to go back to prison.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good for only about a 30, 40-minute session. And that was at the very spot where they were shot and killed.
Yeah. And it has some relatives to the whole aspect of why you're there and who you might be wanting to communicate with. So.
And I'd earlier been in the Massacre Museum, and I was sitting on the very stool that Clyde ordered their sandwiches. That was their last meal that they were eating en route, and had just driven the route from that cafe, which is now the Massacre Museum, drove straight the route they used to where they got shot.
Yeah.
So that's just me. That's how I do the paranormal. I go in there and want to experience
you're
the
right
things.
in the, the historical aspects of their case, where they perished through the shootout and so on. So
I never know when maybe Clyde will come through. I don't know. I was having that kind of relationship with him where I sat down in the stool and have been to the very location where he was killed.
yeah,
And then having gone to the very spot where Dillinger was killed. With Bonnie and Clyde, did it sound like an intelligent EVP? Yes.
yeah,
Both the one I picked up on this ghost box that we were just looking at, and my Echo box, which I was using Tuesday night. Bonnie on the ghost box, Clyde on the Echo box. Yes, they were both intelligent, because I asked why was he here, and he said, I don't want to go back to prison. And Bonnie was just saying, no, I don't want to talk to you. Bye.
yeah.
She did not want me around in there.
Well, what's the odds of somebody saying I didn't want to go back to prison, and considering where you were in that museum? I mean, you have to look at those kind of odds, off the radio or the Echo box or whatever being used. So,
or saying no, leave, go away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that it does happen quite a bit on the ghost box. You'll hear no, or go away, or shut up. I've had that one. So, but I mean, those are kind of common ones that they say out there quite often. Or dead. I get that quite often. I think we heard that earlier. Spirit saying dead. So they're letting us know they're passed over. So, yeah.
I've heard idiot. Trying to think of the term they used when I was down in New Orleans in the Voodoo Museum. They were calling names to the people, a derogatory name. I asked them to please not say that, and they kept on doing it. One term I got down there, I was talking on Echo Vox to Michael, at the Voodoo Museum. And the tour guide walked in. She had taken somebody upstairs and letting me run downstairs. And she came downstairs, and I was talking to Michael.
Yeah.
He and I were having an intelligent conversation, going back and forth. And she said, Michael, I haven't heard your voice in so long. Well, it's been great hearing your voice. Why haven't you talked to me lately? And he flat told her in front of about 30, 35 people, because you talk too much.
Okay, well, it shows a little emotion there. So.
I'm sorry, guys. It's just funny to me.
Everybody broke. I have that on videotape, but I cannot play it, mainly because, and I explained this to the tour group in April. The girl, I was sitting at a table, coffee table, and the girl directly across from me was doing it was in a movie and spoofed in one of the Deadpool movies. Trying to think of the name of it. It's one of those top female stars, the top male star, and she was being interviewed and crossed her legs, like this, right in front of the camera. This girl had a really, Do you remember the name of the movie, Gwen?
Okay, guys, somebody has to know the name of this movie.
I can't think of it.
I want to say Fatal Attraction, but that doesn't sound quite right.
Fatal Attraction or something. It could have been Fatal Attraction.
It could be. I'm not sure.
But this girl was doing the same thing, and she had a really short skirt on, so I cannot show that video to the public.
No.
I just can't do it. That got recorded on video. I've got it somewhere buried. I don't look at it, and I can't show it to anybody.
Yeah.
because that's rated X.
Yeah, well, I mean, also, I mean, if it's celebrity and that too, I mean, you got, what do you call, copyright and all those
Right.
aspects and that to deal with as well.
If
Unless
it
you're
was,
licensed to play or whatever. So,
mhm. Yeah, I got in a little bit of trouble with that with Manhattan Melodrama. I could not find anywhere that who owned it,
yeah,
and turns out that YouTube informed me that Warner Brothers owns it.
yeah,
Oh,
So I had to delete all that out of the video where the
yeah,
movie was up
yeah.
front. I was trying to play this background. We turned it on the camera on a couple of times and showed a little bit of the movie, and they pulled that out of the video
Hmm. Yeah,
because of copyright issues.
yeah. Hmm.
Because I did not find where Warner Brothers owns it, but YouTube says Warner Brothers owns it, and since they do
Yeah,
have the movie for sale or rent, they're obviously paying copyright dues
yeah. Well,
to Warner Brothers
YouTube
for that.
uses a lot of the AI and that for videos, and so anything that gets put into their domain and that where people don't have permission to have a song, for example, that's one
Right.
example, or like a little clip from a movie or whatever. Yeah, they get on that right way real quick there on that. So yeah, before long your video's taken down. So I'm not a big fan of YouTube anymore. I don't even bother with my channel that much anymore. So, but yeah, they had so many little things going on, little stipulations and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, and trouble is, if with videos or podcasting, uh, Facebook is now started July 1st. Uh, they delete your video after 30 days.
mhm. They
So
do. And
yes,
I have tons.
anybody
Yeah.
watching this video on Facebook, you got 30 days to watch it, and it's gone.
yeah.
Everything is archived on YouTube.
Yeah, pretty well. And yeah, there are some others. I think Rumble is another platform that people use. People actually, I know some local people, they say they like Rumble better. I mean, again, like I say, I'm not a big fan of YouTube. So, because of all the stipulations they put in and stuff like that, and want
Right.
you to pay for their premium package deals and who knows what.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because their TV deal is expensive in my book.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
they want you to get into a package deal, and then I mean, when I first started doing stuff on YouTube, you could run a fairly lengthy video and not have to worry about it. So, but that's a lot of that has changed now. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
All right, you want to go ahead and get started with another session?
Okay.
We're at the hour 40 mark, and Gwen said let's do it in about 2 hours.
Yeah, if we
She's got
could, I'd appreciate it.
you got to get ready for Gettysburg. Gwen is I'll just announce to everybody, Gwen is heading to Gettysburg for the weekend at the what do they call it up there, Gwen?
Gettysburg Bash. Lee Triana and I are going, but we won't be there till
Wow.
Saturday.
You
We have something that we have
is
to do.
Keith Age? Is he going to be there? You know?
He's going to
Right.
be at the Deep South one in Alabama in
Well, you
like
have
2
to
weeks.
say hi to him for me because I know him. He came to Vancouver years ago, so I met him and that. So yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. So I like Keith, the rock and roll guy.
Just
when you see him, say hi to him.
during the thing. I mean, I will. I will. You should message him. He would love that.
Yeah.
And that day, hopefully I can go live some.
Yeah.
Well, if you do go live, let me know. Send me something. We're about to go live because he's one guy I would like to meet.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy. Yeah, I really liked Keith when I met him. He was just very down to earth. He didn't have any pretentious type of attitude or whatever. So yeah, he's one of the nicer guys that made a name for himself in the paranormal that I really like. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Okay,
go ahead.
let's
Let's go ahead and get started. We'll call this the last session of the night, so Gwen can go ahead and pack, and I can go try to relax a little bit.
Yeah.
Hello. Okay. Who there wants to say something to us? A message, maybe. You have something of importance you want to tell us.
Yep.
Yeah? Who's this?
Is this
Yeah.
somebody talking to me? That's the female voice with the kind of
Okay.
deep female voice that said Grady. Can you identify yourself, please?
Brady? You have something you'd like to say to Len? What would you like to tell Len there, Brady? You have something important to say? Who's this? Nice to meet you.
There.
Who's this?
Beep. Store. All of
Who else is there? I'd really like to get a full name. What's your name?
there. When it, you. Sit.
You have something in particular you need to tell us. I feel that you do. Don't be shy.
You. Okay.
Who else is there? Hello.
I've heard the word help out a couple of times. Is there somebody needing help out there?
So
You need help? You need help. Go to the white light.
Yeah.
There'll be someone there to greet you that you know.
yeah. So yeah. Lady.
Who else is there? I know I keep asking. Give me a name, okay? Full name, please. Sounds like you guys talking amongst yourselves. Sad? Why are you sad?
Let's.
If you're sad because you're dead, I'd say go travel the world. Go to places you didn't go to in life.
Yeah, you have that ability. You can go around. Hello. How are you, sir? Who's this? Nice to meet you.
I hear didn't work.
For skill.
Maybe.
What?
Who's this?
That was a loud voice.
Yeah, well, that voice sounds familiar to me, so. Who's this? Did I know you at one time? Yeah? Now you're getting really talkative. Yeah? Okay.
May. Yeah.
You guys laughing in the background. What's funny? Did I just hear a bad word? Not really fast.
Maybe.
Okay, well, thank you for communicating. Okay.
The thing about the name Grady, I heard the voice that said it was female, and my ex late wife had a kind of a uniquely voice, as my current wife also does. They're very distinctive. Gwen heard my wife's voice on the phone. She sounds just like
for a minute. Mm-hmm.
She sounds just like her brother.
Mm-hmm.
They sound almost identical over the phone. My first wife also had a distinctive voice, and I thought she was the one I heard say Grady. As far as I know, I have had no contact with her second husband, but he is the one that told me that my ex-wife had died several years ago.
Okay.
And it sounded like her voice say Grady.
Yeah.
So it makes me wonder if something's happened with
Maybe.
him, or
Mhm.
that was just an incomplete message I got, something about Grady, or maybe she was looking for Grady.
Yeah.
That's confusing and could have been my ex-wife. I still have some connections with her. Her second husband never took her anyplace,
Okay.
and she got to go to Florida with me several times. In fact, we went on a long, about 2.5 week tour of Florida, starting in St. Augustine, then went all the way down to the Miami, caught a cruise, and came back up the other side of Florida.
Oh, okay. That sounds cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
she loved Florida.
Yeah.
She and I both loved Florida as it was back
Yeah.
in the 70s, when Florida was Florida and had a quarter of the population it does today. Because we could go in places, the beach was still raw beach like it'd been for several hundred years,
Yeah.
where now it's just it's a city sitting there,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
growing up with hotels. We like I
Urban
said,
sprawl and development and everything. Yeah. So.
and that's how we remembered Florida, is the way it was when she was going with her family, because her
Yeah.
father took her to Florida 2 or 3, 4 different times a year.
Yeah.
He did 3 tours in Vietnam, and when he came back, of course, he was retired. They wanted to send him back for a 4th one. He said, "No, that's enough. I've done 30 years. I'm taking my retirement. Goodbye." That's where he left the army.
Yeah.
And he got home and hadn't spent it. And his kids were half grown, and he hadn't spent any time with them at all.
Mm-hmm.
So he took them to Florida. They'd wake up on Saturday morning. Let's go to Florida. And 30 minutes, they'd all be packed.
Yeah.
This was an E9 sergeant, so he could say, "Let's go to Florida," in his loud voice, and starts packing. 30 minutes later, he's packed. He's turning the ignition of the car. You better get in.
Yeah.
If you remember, if you've served in the military, you know how that goes. Your sergeant says, we're going here, you go there, and you better be ready to stand there when he is.
Yeah, well, pretty well, if the Army or whatever service you're in, if this is where we want you to go, you got to go. That's your duties.
And he was like that with his kids, and they'd say, "Let's go to Florida, let's go," and they'd go for a couple of days. Especially during summer, the kids weren't in high school. He said, "Let's just go." That's the way he was. I took her to New Orleans. I also took her to Jekyll Island.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So she has links to all those places.
Yeah.
So she is probably fairly happy as long as her husband's alive. And now I don't know if it would if when she says Grady, if something's happened to him or not. He leads an interesting lifestyle. It wouldn't surprise me if he'd died.
Mm-hmm.
I may have to check on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I heard a voice in there, a female, that it sounded very familiar to somebody that I knew when they were alive, but I'm not sure exactly. But I've had those kind of little before where I do recognize a voice, but again, they weren't wanting to communicate too much. So, but I've had, in past times, colleagues that I used to work with that have passed away that contacted me through the ghost box and that. So I do get those occasionally. So, and they mention their names and that, and you just know that's them, basically, the cadence of their voice and stuff, and then also what you feel too. Sometimes, I've mentioned that with people when they're using a ghost box, it's also what you feel. So it's like that mediumship skill that you develop in that. So you get to know, and then, so you get that little energy behind that. So it's not just the voice you're hearing through a radio, it's also the feelings that you get, and, really it's the energy that's being emitted and how you interpret that.
Right. Angel of Our Life said she heard the name Michelle, and
Mm-hmm.
you know what the hermit crab says when he finds a new home, don't you?
Mm,
Mm.
not too sure.
Michelle,
Michelle.
Michelle.
Oh, okay. That's a new one for me. So
Well, if you hang around Florida, you have a lot of sea jokes.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
And
can imagine. Yeah,
hermit crab doesn't develop its own shell. It finds other shells and makes
yeah,
use of them.
yeah,
They've even been known to adapt to a tin can or a plastic cup.
yeah. They use other means for their shelter. So
Hmm.
yeah, besides burrowing down in the sand or something like that, or under a rock or close to it. So yeah,
Right. There's also a connection to Amelia Earhart because the island, they're thinking the island that they got to, that they think they found a piece
hmm
of skeletal remains of a female that they've lost. It's a crazy situation. If you ever studied the Amelia Earhart thing, you could have a 5-hour discussion on Amelia Earhart.
yeah,
But
Mm-hmm.
the
It's
island where
interesting.
they think, mhm,
yeah.
the island where they think she may have gotten to is dominated by the number one predator and the number one life form on the island is a coconut crab.
Oh, okay.
And their claws are so big, and they
Yeah.
have a closing capacity greater than a lion's bite
Oh,
Oh wow.
pounds per pressure.
because
Yeah,
they crush coconuts and eat the
yeah,
coconut.
yeah.
And they have been known to strip. They just want to see how they did. They threw a pig carcass out on the beach, and in
Yeah.
30 minutes it was completely stripped down, and all the crabs had walked off with the bones. It
Yeah.
was completely gone in 30 minutes. The coconut crab is a differently evolved because they're an endangered species. Actually, only known on a few islands in the South Pacific, but they are a form of hermit crab
Yeah. Well, they're a
because
scavenger, and
mhm,
if they see a
they
source,
don't form their own shell.
yeah, they see a source of food. It could be a dead body. They'll start picking away at it, and so on.
Hmm. And
Uh,
they stay on land
yeah.
because they have no ability to breathe underwater. They do not go in the water except to want to the females, I think, to lay eggs, goes
Yeah.
close to the water, and once they're hatched out and form,
Mhm.
they spend very little time in the water. They hit the beach, and they never go back to the water.
Yeah, you usually see them in very shallow water to virtually no. Yeah, that's where I've seen a lot of crabs and that. I remember because I worked around the water and that there was a person that went missing and he went and walked over on the tidal flats when the tide was out, but it's very muddy there, and they believe he just got sucked down and died and perished. And then his body eventually popped back up and eventually got washed ashore when the tides were high. And somebody walking by happened to see this body on there and report it, of course, but they noticed on the face everywhere the flesh had been like ripped away. And so, yeah, they knew it was the crabs and stuff that went after them and
Hmm.
that. So, yeah, when you talk about that, that's it reminds me of that story and that. So, yeah, that night I was working, so yeah, we had to do a lot of basically searching on all the coastal area in our work area because I worked down at the water there. So yeah, for a lot of people don't know, I worked for BC Ferries and I worked at the Tawasin Terminal, and it extends out on a man-made little ridge out there, and then it just drops off after that. So but it's right close to Point Roberts. That's on the American side. So, yeah, so you had a lot of crabs and a lot of crab fishing and that associated with that area there. So, yeah, when I heard that, and then those people that spotted the body and that. So yeah, it was the funny thing was his brother actually worked for the ferries too, this guy. So he was
Oh
a young
wow.
guy. Yeah, and I don't know why, if it could have been suicide, we don't know for sure. But anyway, he went out in an area he shouldn't have gone, and he got sucked under when the tide was low on the mud flats, they call them. And yeah, so yeah, eventually his body was brought back up through the pressure of the water and everything and that. But yeah, he was all his flesh had been ripped apart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The crabs will get you. And but Gwen doesn't know this about me.
Mhm.
When I was 8, 9 years old, I was working on a tugboat during the summer. My mother shipped me off to Jacksonville, Florida, and her aunt down there,
Mhm.
shipped me off to the neighbor who owned a boatyard called Leakey's Boatyard. True
Oh,
story.
okay.
True
Mhm.
story. It sounds funny, but true story. So I was 8, 9 years old, working on a tugboat, pushing naval vessels around at the Naval Air Stations, a little bit south of Jacks.
Wow, that's quite interesting.
A lot of naval ships coming out of there.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's wrong with Jacksonville Beach. It's still not quite right from World War II because a lot of the Liberty ships got loaded up with supplies going to Europe in World War II, and there was U-boats right off the coast.
Oh yeah, they would get.
And there's quite a few Liberty ships lost, literally within sight
Yeah.
of Jacksonville, and screwed up the beach.
Yeah.
With oil and diesel fuel and all this stuff.
Yeah, the contamination stuff and that bilge water from when a ship sinks and so on. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So we Bill and I both have been around the ocean.
Yeah, well, I live here on the West Coast, but I ended up working around the water. And it's funny, a lot of people said, well, your horoscope is Cancer, so it was quite appropriate that you worked around the water. So, yeah, again, I mean, yeah, we've had all kinds of weird stuff happening here. I remember you probably heard about it in the news back around 2008, around that time. These shoes would appear on the shoreline with a bone of an ankle and a little bit of the bones sticking out in there, all that kind of stuff. Again, they never really knew what source or whatever was coming out of all this or who was responsible. Theories and stuff like that, but yeah, it was a weird one for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got to remember, there are more dead bodies buried at sea than there are buried on the land of this planet.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
We've had we've been sailing the ocean for, most people don't believe this, for close to 4,000 years or more.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
People don't remember that even when Christ was born, most Christians don't want to admit this, but when Christ was born 2,000 years ago, we had worldwide trade going on.
Oh,
before that, China was trading. China was trading with Egypt. Egypt was trading with Greece and a little bit with Rome.
Yeah. Well,
and you had
yeah. Well, we've was it Oregon? They found these big stones that were actually the anchors from Chinese freighter, or like sailing type ships.
Right. Those ships were huge. Some of those ships the Chinese built back in the late 1300s and very early 1400s were built from trees they cut down in Vietnam. That's why the Vietnamese still don't like or trust the Chinese, because they went down there in the early 1400s and cut down most of the trees in what is today Vietnam and Thailand.
Yeah.
And took them to build ships to do their worldwide trade. And that's why South American
Indochina comes from.
Mm-hmm. And that's why chickens from South America look like Asian chickens, because they are. They're chickens that China brought over, traded to the Native Americans, and became the South American chicken.
Yeah.
It's just a version of the Asian chicken.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you look at, well, for example, rice and how that got brought to Hawaii and stuff like that was not because of the natives there. It was also people brought it there from other nations long time ago. And you got that current going all the way down too on the Pacific coast here, just like on the Atlantic side.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's favorable for ships to go with that current of the day back then.
Right. And back in
Hmm.
when Magellan first sailed around the world, when his ship, the last ship that was sailing, went into the East Indies, the
Hmm.
port, they say in the history books that they went to the port, restocked with water, and restocked with corn.
Hmm.
Okay. How did corn get to the West Indies when corn started growing in America and wasn't grown to they found it in North America, not South America, only North America. They found it, and how did it get to the East Indies in
Hmm.
Magellan's time?
Yeah,
How
yeah,
did that happen?
yeah.
Because that's a native North American plant. So is tobacco.
Yeah.
So anytime you hear
Yeah,
tobacco, that came from North America. Where'd that
yeah.
come from?
Well, it's like, well, they called it the Queen Charlotte Islands here off the coast. It's up north in British Columbia there, off of, well, I guess the nearest town on the mainland would be Prince Rupert. So it was in the Dixon's entrance, basically, where the island is. Now they call it Haida Gwa. And the native people there, the Haidas, they were known to go all the way down to Mexico and even further down to Central America doing trading, ancient trading routes and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So,
the worldwide trade has been around. People say, well, we shouldn't trade around the world. We should just use our stuff. But there's stuff we can't do here.
yeah. And then
We,
the
we,
other
we
side,
can't feed ourselves in the wintertime. We've
yeah.
got to buy vegetables and
Yeah.
fruits from
Yeah,
somewhere
it's
else.
like the Museum of Anthropology in UBC, the University of British Columbia. They have an exhibit there. For a long time, they kept it quiet, and that was tattooing by the Haidas. And it was believed that the Polynesians came over with those same currents and landed in the Haida Gwa, shall we say. And yeah, so they picked up the art of tattooing, like the old fashioned with scarring, that type tattooing and that.
Right.
So yeah, so eventually they released that exhibit to the public to see and that. So, but I mean, those are just little tidbits of things of the past. Of course, the Chinese anchors off the coast of Oregon and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, you had a lot of commerce going on back in that time period. So
A
way
tremendous,
before, yeah, way
unbelievable
before
amounts.
the voyagers and all the the white guys coming on the coast and that, and then Spaniards. Of course, they came all the way up to British Columbia. We got names after islands from when the Spaniards came up too. So
Yeah, of course. This has been History 101 by Len Dorman and Bill Hauser.
yeah,
Come in the next week for
Galliano
History
Island. Yeah, on the American
202.
side, Cortez Island. I mean, it goes on all these Spanish names of the islands that were named after the Spanish being up here. They actually found a cannon off of Haida Gwa too. The old Queen Charlotte's that was actually I believe it was from a Spanish ship. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
correct, I could be wrong, but anyway, they found a cannon. There's some divers out there, so somehow it ended up in the water.
They're
Not deep.
they're they're always putting cannons and anchors out of the Mississippi River and
Yeah.
the Delta region, right there around the mouth of the Mississippi, from
Oh
all
yeah.
kinds of years, because
Yeah.
there's been shipping going in and out of the Mississippi for probably well over 1,000 years,
Yeah.
and maybe close to 2,000.
Yeah. Again, those ancient native routes that they use for
Mm-hmm.
commerce to trade up and down the rivers and stuff like that. So.
Oh, talking about history, Ponce de Leon.
Hmm.
You remember he did a lot of searching in was it Ponce de Leon or was it De Soto? who died around the Mississippi.
Yeah.
They came into this area,
Yeah.
and I believe it was DeSoto
Yeah.
who actually died right there, and they put his body, because a lot of the native tribes, to get food from them and to keep them from attacking them, said he was a god.
Yeah.
And they couldn't tell the Native Americans that he died.
Yeah.
So they covertly put his body in the Mississippi,
Mhm.
and there's 2 spots that vie for where he died.
Yeah.
Both spots are within 50 miles of where I'm sitting,
Yeah. Yeah. It's quite amazing.
because I'm just a few miles from where the Arkansas River runs into the
Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
I'm
You
in
tell me. Yeah. The Delta there.
I'm deep in the Delta.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I'm on
you told me they're growing. So yeah.
I'm right by the water, right
Yeah.
by you Bartholomew.
Yeah. Yeah, there's another story too of the Spanish Mound up not far from well, basically where would that be again? Not far from Penticton area, but what they believe the story is, a Spanish galleon ship went up the Columbia River on the well, back then it wasn't the American thing, but it was anyway. They went up there and something terrible happened, and they ended up on land, and they made their way, and they ended up into British Columbia there, and they spent a winter up there. They found years later they found a big like a shelter, uh, basically almost like a log cabin type design. What the native people didn't do, they dug like a big thing with timbers over with dirt, a mound they called. So anyway, the Spanish Mound is, they believe, where the native people weren't too happy with these guys in their area, so they killed them. And then they've never actually found where the mound is, but the story still goes out there. If you look it up on the internet, the Spanish Mound in British Columbia, you'll find it very interesting, that story. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Spanish were not popular with the Native Americans. Never
No,
have been,
they
never
were
will be.
definitely there for gold and other resources and that. So, but
Still,
then even the British weren't too popular either. So,
no, the British weren't that popular, but they had a few more friends as the Spanish did. The Spanish wanted to
yeah,
do 2 things: steal their gold and convert them to Christianity. The
yeah,
British wanted trade, but they wanted, of course, Great Britain wanted everything to their advantage and tried
yeah,
to screw over people, and that's where the Native Americans got mad at the Brits.
yeah,
Of course, the Americans, being capitalists, were trying to do the same thing.
yeah. Well, then you get into simulation of the native people, like with residential schools eventually took place and stuff like that, and of course all the horror stories, of course, that being associated with that. So
Mm-hmm.
again, I mean, I've always kind of just sort of taken a step back and just listened to a lot of what happened that. So, but we have a church on the island there called the Butter Church. That's the nickname it got, but it is now basically on the native, like on the reserve there, and it got abandoned. There was a lot of weird history around it. I actually even have a video of me in there a couple times doing some stuff. But yeah, it was quite amazing. The church was built out of stone and everything, and for its time period, it was a pretty solid church. It was actually the first building structure on Vancouver Island, and now it's still standing to this day on the reserve there. You have to have permission to go in, but they'll allow you to go and video it or photo take or whatever you want to do on there. But yeah, it's a piece of history of the colonization.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and start wrapping it up. Bill, if people want to listen to some of your EVPs and get hold of you or listen to you, where can they find you on the internet?
Well, I do still have they're up. I have the YouTube channels. They can put in Can Dewey. That's kind of like an internet nickname I use, or Bill Hauser. and they'll find me in there. Another last almost a year now, I've been kind of hanging out on the Filipino Enthusiast EVP site on Facebook, and I'm a moderator of that site as well with the fellow from the Philippines there. He's in the south in Mindanao Island. So yeah, he's kind of does his little stuff as well with the ghost box stuff and EVP work that he does and that. So yeah, he got it started. He actually asked me to be a moderator. I said, sure, I'll do it. And I've done it on other sites. So yeah, and yeah, I'm free to post stuff. So if you go scrolling through there, you'll see some videos that I've done and that, and some weird light show ghost box. I play with different concepts and experiment and stuff, different radios. So again, that's where they can find me and that. So Facebook Messenger, on there as well, and a couple of the other social media. But I don't really get too caught up with a lot of the social media because I find a lot of it is a bit overwhelming at times, and then at the same time, yeah, you go to a certain level. Like tonight, I'm broadcasting, but I'm using my tablet. I have no social media, so when I want to get away from all that, this is my quiet device to go on the internet. So I can watch 2B videos. I watch a lot of documentaries and stuff like that too. So, I mean, that's the joy of the internet. You can watch a lot of stuff on there now, a lot of movies. And, yeah, 2B is a great site. I don't work for them or anything, but I'll say they've done a really good job in presenting movies out there and documentaries, a lot of documentaries. So,
are you still hanging around Dave Scott?
I don't go on his show anymore. To be honest with you, I don't have too much to do with there, but I'm still a moderator on his Facebook site. So
okay,
I'm still in that, and he likes it for me to post things and stuff like that. But I don't do too much to do with them anymore now. So. I mean, he's gone in a whole different direction too.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah. He's big in the alien.
He always was into the UFO stuff and that. So, and then of course me being connected with that lady on Vancouver Island, the UFO lady. So, but again, she doesn't really want a lot of attention to herself as just the UFO lady. So
right.
She's a lot more than just that, but she's also a good friend, so I keep in contact with her as well.
He's an okay guy. We talk every once in a while, but that's about it.
Yeah, same here. And then, he has something to mention about, being a moderator, watch for these, because I have to approve stuff on his site there, and you get a lot of wacky stuff people want you to post.
We do too. Yeah.
Yeah, it happens, and you have to kind of use discretion, I say, and stuff like that. So,
hey, Bill, I have a question for you, and I have forgot to ask you this when I've talked to you before. Have you made a documentary, or did I imagine that?
Not a documentary. I've been on a TV show in the Philippines. I should actually.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I'll send that. I think I might have sent that to you. Yeah, I was on there.
You did not, but I would love to see it.
Oh, okay. I'll send that. What they did was in my contract, they basically for the first 10 minutes, it's basically mostly English because it would have been in Tagalog, so it would be hard for a lot of people that don't know how to speak that. So I decided, okay, well, that's good. Just edit it for that. So they did that. And then it's got a lot of views and likes and stuff, and comments, good and bad. So you get that. But I was on the TV show, and it was cool. We went to a location where a lot of car accidents took place, and I was in their studio van with the camera crew and the lady that ran the show, I Wonder. And she put me on a time limit, and there's a little timer, and she said, well, we'll see how good you are. So I had to hopefully get some good responses in a very short period of time, and it worked out that I did that. So
no pressure. I
was very happy, and I mean, it was good to be tested. I'm not gonna deny that I like to keep my senses going and how good I do at things. So, but anyway, it was good. I enjoyed it. I liked the concept of their show. It was very straightforward and reenactments of paranormal activity, of people's experiences, personal experiences, shall we say. And it was good. I enjoyed it. So I liked the concept of the show. So that's why I decided to get involved with it. And that. So when I went over there in 2018, and yeah, it was great.
Did you do like a whole series, or did you do episode?
No,
Some episodes,
just
or
one
did you do the whole thing?
episode, and the episode
Okay.
was the car accidents stuff we went over. It was in a suburb of Manila there. It was raining quite heavy that night, so we were in the van, and the camera crew they started because they had their portable lights and everything in there, and they started dimming down as the energy, and you could feel the energy is almost very, very strong energy there, spirit energy, shall we say, and that. So, and then I felt there was a lot of portals, so that comes through. So it's a little something that happened that I'm asking about. So, yeah, it was very
Yeah, send me the
interesting.
link. I'd love to
Yeah,
see it.
yeah.
Or
It's good.
anybody watching, they probably love to see it too.
What?
So
What people need to remember is study a little bit of history of the Philippines.
Yes,
I mean that was owned by the Spanish. We fought the Spanish over it, and how many people died on the Philippine Islands during World War II?
Oh, a lot.
Too
And
many.
then especially in Mindanao Island there in the south, when I went down there, yeah, there was a lot of stuff. Even before the Americans were in there and they were fighting with the locals. At the time there was a lot of wars going on, and then of course there was the Muslims down in the south fighting down there because that was all with the spice trade long before white man showed up and stuff like that. So I mean, yeah, the whole place has so much history. And then in Manila and the old part, Fort Santiago, incredible place there. I've gone in there, and yeah, it's just amazing. Yeah, that was
That's
a big.
cool.
Yeah, that was really big during the Second World War. A lot of fighting was done there with the Japanese and that. And you still see the shells of the buildings there. They left them up on the site there, and then in the general area, because that was the old part of Manila, that area. Uh, to be honest with you, it was a very exciting place to visit in Manila. Of course, you see all the high rises and the modern skyscrapers and that, but in the background. But it's still nice that a lot of those buildings have been preserved.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Oh, by the way, talking about the Philippines, Douglas MacArthur was born here in Arkansas.
Yeah, you mentioned that last time on the show.
Well, I'll tell you something interesting.
Yeah,
what's
you
that?
have a
I'll tell
connection
you something
too there,
very
Glenn.
interesting. Yeah. Well, I don't, but my best friend Lee, the CEO of the network. Well, she's my bestie, but anyway, I call her sister, but she's a chosen sister. Her grandfather came from the Philippines and was MacArthur's chef.
Wow, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all these different connections, and I mean, yeah, there's so much history associated with the Philippines and that. So, yeah, when you look at like Fort Santiago, and you look at the areas where, they would tell you all the inmates were put down in this pit that had bars on top at the ground level, but then the river with the tides coming in from the oceans, it would flood up, and then these guys would be submerged in water almost up to their necks. And that, and chained up, and some of them, and it's just amazing. There was a lot of bad energy too with Fort Santiago, but at the same time, there was also I felt too that there was also a little bit of good through it all. So
I hope so.
But it was strong energy there, no question about it. In the
Matt.
I would-
Philippines, and
Has
I
to
would
be.
love to be able to visit or something like that. That would be awesome.
yeah, and I mean, they got the old cathedral there, all these different locations and that. So a lot of colonial type buildings, and then up north and vegan there. The first year I went there, I went up there, and it was just amazing. The buildings and that. It felt almost like I was in Mexico, with the hillsides nearby, the landscape.
Mhm.
It had that kind of almost like Mexico look.
All right. Well, I think we've gone almost 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
I have laundry to
that's
do.
you got to wash clothes.
I have
you
to
gotta
wash
get
them in
ready
the
for
load
your
clothes.
trip. Yeah,
Yeah, I
So-
just got back yesterday, so I'm
yeah, and you
I-
got to see. Did you meet Mr. Haunted?
Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Yes,
Yes,
he's so cool.
yeah, I know Jimmy. I was on his show. I've known him for a little while, and he's such a cool dude. He's written some
He
books.
is. I
and
did.
that,
I got.
so-
Yeah,
Yeah,
did you see?
yeah.
You didn't see my go on Facebook and look at some of my pictures. There's me and Jimmy with
Yeah,
John Zappis behind
yeah.
us goofing us.
Yeah, I saw
Um,
some of your stuff up on Facebook, and then I realized, well, of course he would be there, and then John Zaffis and that. So yeah,
Yeah, and
Yeah,
this
that's good.
weekend, there's going to be a ton of people. I don't even. And everybody forgive me, but I can't remember everybody that's supposed to be at the Gettysburg.
well, it'll
At
be an
Bash,
all-star
it's-
cast of
Yeah,
people.
it's
that,
Yeah.
it's an all-star cast. You're right. You said it
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
It is, but
that's
we
good.
we can't. We were supposed to go tomorrow, but something came up that we had have to do tomorrow, so we're going
Yeah.
to be there Saturday. That's the
Yeah.
biggest day anyway. But
Yeah.
but
Well,
we're
that's
going.
good. Yeah,
Yeah, we actually weird enough on the way to Connecticut for that Paracon, we stayed in Gettysburg at the hotel
Yeah,
that this bash is going to be at. So
well, that's good. Yeah,
Mhm.
I've done a lot of reading of Gettysburg, and that's a sound. I've never been there yet, but I know I'd love to go someday.
It is
I'll get to go
interesting.
there, so it'll be fascinating.
it will be. It will be.
Yeah.
But you guys, it's almost 2 hours and a half, so I've got laundry to do. These guys
Yeah,
have to get some
okay.
rest.
You take care and have a good
Yeah,
trip.
come back on the show. Come back on any of the
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I'll get you on mine also when I start
Yeah,
back, which
okay.
I will be doing probably September or it may be
September, and I got a few things happening next month in August. They're traveling locally here, so it'll be good. Yeah, I'm glad. So thank you guys again for having me
Thank
on
you.
your radio show, and I enjoyed it. So yeah,
You're
your
welcome
audience
anytime, Bill.
participation has been great. So
Yeah.
Anytime, Bill.
yeah,
Yeah,
thank
anytime.
you.
And if
Take
you
care.
want to do some of the other shows, let us know too. We have more.
Okay, I will pass
Yeah.
that on. Yep. Okay,
And I will
I'll
if I
send you
get to
that
see.
link I was talking about with that TV
Yes.
show I was on, and so you can see that. So I'll do that after the
And
show.
I will share that out also because I think it's
Oh,
very
okay, yeah,
interesting.
that's good. Yeah.
And as always, thank you a lot, Bill. You're
Yeah,
always
thank
a
you.
great time. You're a great guest. You've got a lot of great experience, and I appreciate you sharing it tonight. Thank you.
Yes, well,
Yes,
thank you
thank
very
you very
much
much.
again for having me on, and I'm looking forward to in September coming back on again. And you
Yeah,
guys got a
absolutely.
great audience here too, and that's what I like is the audience
Mhm.
participation. So that's really
Well,
good.
we the later it gets, the more the participation drops off. People are watching, by the way. There's
Yeah.
a couple
Yeah,
hundred
and they can
people
also go in
watching.
the archives and listen
Yeah.
at their convenience, so that works out well.
Yeah, we just have some people that are just don't comment or ask questions, but they watch.
Right.
There's a couple hundred right now because I was checking to see. So
Oh, that's
thank you,
good.
anybody and everybody that watched, even
Yeah.
if you didn't watch the whole thing. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
let's get out of here. So, Lynn, take us
Okay,
out.
take care, guys.
All right.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Good night, Bill. Thank
Yeah.
you a lot as
Bye.
always.
Okay,
We will
take care.
we will be talking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. You take care, guys. Bye now.
All right.
Too.
Take care.
Good night.
And
All right.
I want to touch off since we got Bill that this is my last show for a while. I will not be back till after Labor Day. Not sure the
Mhm.
exact date. It will be September 7th. I'm going to be on Shane's show.
Sean?
Sean, yes.
Sean?
I will be on that show on the 7th. It'll be after that when I come back. I'll be announcing when I'll come back on that show in September.
Oh yeah, well,
because
we will
I've got
broadcast it
some
out, and
I got some dental issues. I'm not going to be able to talk a whole lot. The only thing I might
Right.
do is run an EchoVox session show, and that's about all I can do. So that's to be seen. Gwen and I talk about that. Gwen can, if she wants to run reruns of the show, don't have that many on this network, but if you want to run them, go ahead.
Yep, I'm going to. That's why, I don't want your slot to be, unless we have a special or something, I really want it to be you. So
Okay.
I may get with him before he has his surgery and maybe do a pre-record with somebody. So we'll have an extra one too. I was thinking about that today. So, well, let's get out of here because I got laundry to do, and I know your wife is probably ready to kill us. So,
Right. And just remember, everybody, if you're looking on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't hear it on Facebook, if we're not friends, send me a friend request. I did delete a few people because I'm right at 5,000. I got to work with Gwen on that to get me a nice little check mark so I can get more than 5,000 friends. So apparently I have that issue. But remember, I may sleep, Gwen may sleep, but the paranormal never sleeps.
exactly.
Good night, everybody. See you later.